your permission, I will proceed to read the press release of the senior commanders meeting between the government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and the Tigray People's Liberation Front agreed to facilitate unhindered humanitarian access. Nairobi, Kenya, November 2022. The African Union Commission concludes the meeting of senior commanders following the signing of permanent cessation of hostilities agreement between the government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and the Tigray People's Liberation Front on the 2nd November 2022. The parties have agreed to facilitate unhindered humanitarian access to all in need of assistance in Tigray and neighboring regions, facilitate unhindered movement of humanitarian aid workers, provide security guarantees for humanitarian aid workers and organizations, as well as protection of civilians consistent with the provisions of the agreement. Furthermore, the parties agreed to the establishment of a joint committee to elaborate on the modalities for the implementation of the comprehensive disarmament, demobilization, and integration program. The African Union Commission applauds the parties on these significant confidence-building measures and encourages them to continue towards the full implementation of the cessation of hostilities agreement as part of overall efforts to end the conflict and restore peace, security, and stability in Ethiopia. The 4-day senior commanders meeting was facilitated by the AU High Representative for the Horn of Africa and President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo, together with AU high-level panel members, former President of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, and Her Excellency Madam Pumzile Mlambo, former Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa and member of the African Union Panel of the Y.
Thank you. His Excellency Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, AU High-Level Panel Chair, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, former President of Kenya and member of the panel, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I would like to thank all of you for your efforts to bring lasting peace to the people of Tigray and people of Ethiopia in general. We fought for the last 2 years to protect our people and defend our interests. We have suffered untold misery over the last 2 years and still continue to suffer. The commitment we are making today is with the hope that expectations that our people's suffering will come to an end and soon. This is a very daunting task in the light of the many spoilers from within or outside who are profiting from this war. It's our expectation that the other party honors its agreement not only to end the conflict but also to facilitate humanitarian access and resumption of service. I thank you.
Your Excellency, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, African Union Special Envoy for the Horn of Africa, Your Excellency, former President Uhuru Kenyatta, former President of the Republic of Kenya, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Based on the agreement reached in Pretoria, South Africa, for lasting peace through permanent cessation of hostility, we military commanders of both sides have been engaged in the detailed discussion on the full implementation of the agreement, emphasizing on the military aspect. We have been engaged in a good spirit and understanding. Accordingly, we want to express our full commitment for bringing peace and stability to our people and country. Therefore, we will fully dedicate ourselves to implement the Pretoria Agreement and this declaration. To this end, we would like to affirm our full commitment to the people of Ethiopia, to this panel and world. I thank you.
And we have assurance that the humanitarian supplies are there. There are those that can go by immediately by air, but the bulk of it, and that is the way to go, the bulk of it will go by road. And we have also streamlined what should be done in terms of checking. There will be check at the bottom, at the point of because you are always pulling my legs. I thought you are pulling it again. There will be check at the port of embarkation, and then at the point of discharging of materials. There will be security as may be required by the humanitarian agencies and workers. And of course, the declaration that my two brothers have signed and have exchanged contain all these provisions so that humanitarian access can begin with immediate effect.
Part two had to do with the issue of accountability. And I think I just want to go back to what President Obasanjo said. Our first and key priority was, number one, to silence the guns. Number two, to ensure immediate humanitarian access to the people of Tigray, to the people in the surrounding regions, but to all the people of Ethiopia, to end the suffering that has been occasioned as a result of this war. But Madam, if you will recall, and you have taken a look at our document that we signed, the agreement that we signed in South Africa, we did, in that main agreement, go through the issue of transitional justice. But that is a process that can only follow once the guns have fallen silent and once we have dealt with the humanitarian crisis. Furthermore, even in this document, we have made a reference once again to the security of the civilian population, mainly women and children. And in this document also, it has been explicitly made out and laid out that there shall be severe sanction on anyone who will commit atrocities against civilians. So we are cognizant of that fact, but we must begin where we must begin. And the first point of call is silencing the guns and ensuring immediate access to humanitarian requirements for the people of Ethiopia. The rest shall follow through as part of the political process, as part of the healing process that must take place within Ethiopia.